Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to paint this beautiful tree painting in simple 5 steps. Now let's get started. Let's see the requirements of this painting. I have given all the link in the description. In step 1 we are going to paint the sky. So here we are going to paint a beautiful bright sunny day. So we need this beautiful blue. I personally like cobalt blue, so I chose this color for our painting. And first we are going to apply the color on the top, and gradually we are adding the color white to make the blue little light, and we are applying the light blue in the middle of the canvas and smoothly blend the colors together. And you can see when we are moving towards the horizon we need a very light shade of blue, so we are going to mix more white to our blue to make our blue really light. Now let's paint the mountains in the distance. So we need the color blue, white and black, and we are going to mix the color. So finally we get the bluish shade of grey, and we are using the color for the mountain in the distance. So the colors, especially the object in the distance, will look very light. So here we are using the light colors in the distant mountains. So now you can see I am adding little blue. So when we are moving towards the foreground, so the object will look very bright. So we are going to mix more blue this mixture, and we are painting the mountain. So here I am using my flat brush. So the flat brush has a very soft and a very stiff end, so it always helps us to create the mountain. So when we paint mountains we have to paint the sharp edges. So here this flat brush is always helps us to create the beautiful mountains. So you can see in the foreground we have the bright mountains, and in the distance our mountains look very dull and a little less vibrant. As I want the mountain in the foreground seems a little dark, so here I am applying the color black over it. Now we are going to paint the trees and grass. So first just stick a tape like this. Now we are going to mix the color phthalo green and lemon yellow, and you can add some raw sienna. So we are going to apply the color here. So this will be the foreground. In this foreground we are going to paint the fence, a tree and the grass. So now let's apply the color all over this place. So here I am using my flat brush. Now take your fan brush. Now mix the color lemon yellow with the phthalo green, and finally we get this beautiful shade of light green like this, and we are going to tap the color here. So when you are painting the grass in the background you need to tap the color very close, and it is really important, so it will create an illusion of depth in our painting. So when you are painting the grass in the foreground you need to paint them very close, and when you are moving towards the foreground you can leave some space between them, so it will create the beautiful depth in our painting. I always enjoy the process when I use this fan brush. It really makes my job easy. And now we are going to apply more colors in the foreground and background. So if you want your grass looks very bright you can add more yellow, and here I am adding a little yellow to make the colors even bright and warm. Now it's time to paint the tree. So here I am using my round brush. Here we have the color burnt sienna. So first we are going to paint the tree trunk. So you can just apply the color for the base. Later we can add some dark value, light values and highlights later. So first I am going to apply the color for the base. So if you are not comfortable whenever you paint trees, then you can just draw the shape of the branches in your canvas using your pencil. Later you can use your brush to cover the area with your paint. So in this way you can easily paint a beautiful tree. And here I am using some curve lines for the branches. So adding these curve lines make our tree painting really realistic and interesting. To paint the skinny and the thin lines, here I am using my small round brush. Now let's paint the shadow part of the tree. So here we are mixing the color black with the burnt sienna. So in this painting we just imagine we are getting the light source from the left side of the painting. So here we are painting the dark shade in the right side. So just imagine this and just apply the color. So now let's paint the light value. So here we mix the color raw sienna with a little lemon yellow, and we are going to apply the color in the opposite side of the shadow part. And here I am using my round brush, and in this painting we are not going to blend the colors together. We are going to create the texture of the tree, so we don't need to blend them. Now let's use the same color to paint the fence. So here first I use the color burnt sienna, and now I am painting the light value using the color raw sienna and little lemon yellow. So this is really easy as I am painting the light value for this small fence. So here I am using my small round brush. So you can use your detailing brush to paint the minute details in your painting. Now it's time to paint the leaf foliage. So here we have the color carmine. So this color is the general term for some deep red colors that close to the purple color. So here we are going to use our round brush and we are going to just tap the color like this. So in this painting we are going to use a very simple technique to paint the leaf foliage. And now here I am using my small round brush to paint the small leaves, and you can use your detailing brush. Now let's mix the color white to this color, and now we get the light pink color, and we are going to use this color for the light value in this leaf foliage. So here in this painting we are going to use more light colors only in the left side of the painting, because there we are getting the light source. If you are someone who loves to admire the beauty of sunset and you want to translate the beauty onto your canvas, then you're gonna definitely like this playlist. In this playlist I have given step-by-step instruction to my different types of sunset paintings. Now let's paint the overlapping branches. So here I am using my round brush and I am going to paint some branches here and there. If you are new to my channel, let me introduce myself. I am Rexana. I am an acrylic painting artist. I love to paint with acrylics, and here I am sharing my painting knowledge with beginners. If you find my tutorials are really easy and interesting, then please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on my other social media platforms. Here we are painting the highlight part of this tree painting, so we have to mix more white to this carmine, so we get this light shade of pink, and we are going to apply the color in the side of the tree. And this is very easy and interesting painting. And now we are going to paint the shadow. So here we are going to use the color phthalo green mixed with a little black, and we are going to paint the shadow using the round brush. So we are painting the shadow, so it should not be very clear and detailed. So we are going to just apply the colors in the direction and in the shape of the fence. And now we are painting the main subject of this painting. So this is the swing, and we are going to use the color burnt sienna to draw the basic shape of the swing. Then we are going to add more details here. So first just start the base with the color burnt sienna, and then we can apply even more colors. So now we are mixing the color raw sienna with yellow, and we are going to use the color for the light value of the swing. And you can see I am applying the color here. As we are painting the rope, and we need to give some details, so here I am using the color raw sienna. I am painting some slanted lines in this rope, so we get the real picture of the rope here. And we can apply some light value on the tree again. I really like to work on my paintings over and over again until I get satisfaction. So now we are painting the shadow for the swing. So here we use the same dark green color, and let's paint the shadow of the tree as well. So here we are just apply the color dark green. Later we are going to use some light green to paint the grass again. So here we take the same fan brush, and now we have the color phthalo green mixed with a lemon yellow. So we have this light shade of green, and again we are going to touch up the part where we painted the shadow. So this will create a very beautiful and a realistic look in our painting. So now you can see I am just tabbing the area near the shadow part. Now let's paint some grass near this tree. So here I am using my small round brush to paint the long lines. Now I find some extra paint in my palette, so I am going to use this extra green paint to paint some leaves. Actually I don't like to waste my paint, so when I find some extra paint in my palette, I just use them in my painting. So here I am applying the color like this. Now let's see the final look of this painting. I really like this painting. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I will meet you guys with another beautiful painting with a step-by-step instruction. Until then, have fun with color.